So I'm going to attempt to show you how to use Power Automate with Microsoft Forms to use the Approvals app for the form that you have created. So obviously you need to start off by making your form. And I just have this little test example form here. But then you need to open up Power Automate. And you can usually do that by clicking on these little ellipses dots or whatever they're called. And then Power Automate is one of your apps um, that should populate, or you can just search it. So that's what we want. We want Power Automate. So this is what a Power Automate homepage would look like. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a new Power Automate flow. So I'm going to click on the create. And I'm going to select the automated cloud flow option. And I'm going to name it. So you can name it whatever your form is, or I'll just say form with approvals, because I think that's what you wanted. And then we're going to select when a new response is submitted to start to generate the flow, and then hit create. So this is our first step in the flow. When a new response is submitted, we want to find our form. This should populate all the forms that you have. What did I call mine? I don't know if it's Power Automate with approvals or in alphabetical order. So okay, Power Automate with approvals for flow. That's the name of my form in this test example. So the next thing we want to do is we want to select the new step button. And then in this search field, type in response details. And it should populate. It's here, get response details. For the form ID, we want to select the same form. So mine's Power Automate, yours is whatever that form is that you mentioned. So Power Automate, approvals flow. Again, this is the name of your form, so don't go looking for Power Automate approvals flow. And then in this dynamic field, we'll be using that quite a bit. You want to select this response ID. This just separates each form submission. It knows which one it is. It's all automatic behind the scenes. So the next piece is our approval step. So what we've done is we've submitted a form. When the new response is submitted, get the form's details, and then we want to create our approval step. So hit new step, and then you can type in approvals. And then always select start and wait for an approval button. And then the approval type, I always use sequential just in case there are multi-level approvals. You can use approve or reject first respond if you're the only one, but it will work the same. But I think a sequential allows you for more approvals down the road if you ever wanted to expand. So here we need to put a title. So I'm just going to say approvals flow. And you want to assign the person, so it's probably you, right, Cherie? So you put your name in there, your email address. I'll just put in mine for this example, and it should auto load. Yep. And then the details field is where you put the content of the approvals, and this is where the dynamic stuff comes in. So as you can see, here's my form. So basically what we're creating is a template to put in the dynamic content. So these are the questions that I want to enter into my approvals field. You can put anything you want here, but I'm just going to put name, and then I'm going to search for my name and dynamic content, and you see it already populates. It's the first one. Then I'm going to do my next one, address, and then I'm going to add this dynamic content, and then phone. And you're going to have way more questions, I think, based on however long your form is. Phone, and then you just select that one. And then my last one for the example is email. And you can also put in this title if you wanted to. You can say approvals response flow from responders email. So the person who submits the response would be the responder. So it'll put a name of a staff person here. If you're using this for outside submissions, like people in the public submitting this form, then I've never used that before in this way. I don't think it won't return an actual email address because forms submitted outside of the state of Maine come in as anonymous. So this only works if it's a staff person submitting your form. So we're about done. I've created my content here. I might copy and paste this because I might want to just enter it right into my email confirmation if that's what you're going to do. But before we leave the approvals part, go down to this show advanced options piece and hit that down button. And then under requester, put in that same responder's email, dynamic content. This will make it so when you get the approval, it will look like it's coming from the form submitter, not you. And I found this one on down the road, so that's a really helpful piece there. Okay, the next person is we want to put in a control. So we hit new step, and we want this condition control. And then what we want to do is we want to find out what the outcome of the approval step was. And I always change this to contains. I've had problems with the equal. Hit outcome, contains, and then type in the word approval. So basically this is saying if you approve the submission, if yes, send an approval email saying your request has been approved. So I'm going to click if yes, add action. And then in here, I'm going to type in email. And I always use this send email V2 option. I've had luck with that. And then you remember how I copied that information? I'm going to paste it right here. And I'm going to put in my subject, whatever, approvals flow, approvals flow, and then I'm just going to put in the responder. So I'm going to type in responder. So this is the person who submitted it. Hold on, where are you? Okay, responder's email. And then I'm just going to have this go to me for the test and then you can also CC the person who submitted the form by hitting this add dynamic content. And again, responder's email. Keep in mind, it doesn't automatically populate that semicolon. You're going to get an error if you don't put that semicolon in there. So that's a key step there. So the other part was say this form, say the approval was rejected. We want to send a rejected email or please follow up for information or whatever. So I'm going to type in email again so we can get that rejected email. Whatever, there was an issue with your submission. And then you can have it go to you. What did I put? So I can put approvals flow rejected. And then you can put in the responder so they get an email. You can put yourself in there if you want to get CC'd on the rejected approval. And then very important to hit this save button. And it will tell you if you missed anything or there's any errors. And it says your flow is ready to go. We recommend you test it. So let's test it. I'm going to go back up to my form. I'm going to go to preview. I'm just going to type in, I'm just going to fill out a form. And phone number. An email, whatever. And I'm going to submit the form. And I can come over here in my flow to see if I can hit the back button to see if my submission was successful. And I'm not seeing anything here. Okay, so this says running, meaning it's at the approval step. So I'm going to go to Teams, and I'm going to go to my approval step. Email. You get an email and you get a notification from Teams. I would use Teams. It's quicker, but mine's like not populating right now, so I don't know what the deal is. Usually this would just open up if it's not loading for some reason. But you can do the email version, which I don't like as much, but hit approve and it opens up a browser. And then you just hit confirm. You can put comments in there or whatever. So it was recorded. And let me go back. Sounds like my email just came through. I'm just refreshing this to show if my flow succeeded or not. You won't have to do all that. I'm just trying to show you. So you go over and okay, so I screwed something up. Or maybe I rejected it. I thought I hit approve. But anyway, you get the gist of it. Hold on. I thought I hit. Outcome, page approval. If yes, send an approval email. Yeah, I don't know why I got the rejected one. But anyway, you got the gist, and if you run into any problems, just let me know. Okay, long video. Sorry about that.